Imagine a world where diverse communities are under attack. People are not safe to walk the streets of their own cities. Division is rife, and individuals lack accountability. If you just now had been imagining Britain in the summer of 2024, you wouldn't be far off. Violent demonstrators and rioters took to the street, demanding to give Britain back to the British. They wanted us to believe that being British means one story, one outlook, one past, one insight. Meanwhile, the British are really not a homogeneous, single-looking lot. How inaccurate and supremely dangerous is that concept? Most of us would recoil at the thought of such narrow-mindedness. And yet, how many times have we unwittingly built invisible barriers through our own lack of understanding? Even at a more basic level, cultural misunderstanding and ignorance can build a barrier amongst people, depriving society of inclusion and robbing us from the opportunity of a peaceful world. Ask yourself these questions. How many times have you rushed through a neighborhood to reach perhaps your home or another familiar place, and you have never stopped to check out the rich cultural mix surrounding you, the shops, the people out there? When have you last shown curiosity for unfamiliar grocery displayed in a nearby market? And when have you last bought a cake for your office from that shop around the corner whose names you can't even pronounce? When we shut ourselves up from accessing diverse stories, we perpetuate unwittingly the myth of a single story. We uphold a very narrow view of the world that shuts people out. But the solution is relatively simple. All we have to do is show curiosity and willingness to hear other people's stories, where we then uncover traditions and habits and rituals that coexist peacefully together. Our shared humanity is built on that diversity. And that's why we have such richness in this world. We can uncover stories every day in our life as individuals. But we can also do it through the help of a local tour guide. So tour guiding becomes a powerful tool to change society, create community, inclusion, and social integration, giving us the opportunity to foster understanding and peace amongst community. Tour guiding, when it's done well, can give multiple benefits to all of us, individuals and communities. Now a question. How many of you have been on an organized trip abroad? Probably quite a few. And if you have probably come across one of the 0.6 million tour guides that exist out there in the world. On average, it is said that a tour guide will run 150 tours a year. That means that they can influence hundreds, if not thousands, of people. It is quite likely that if you've been sightseeing with a tour guide, you will have come across and enjoyed different cultures through their storytelling, their anecdotal facts, and history of their location. But here is the good news. You don't need to go abroad. You don't need to jump on that plane to experience feeling closer to another culture. You can do this right here in your community, in your city, in your backyard, as demonstrated by the remarkable women tour guides that have been trained by social enterprise Women in Travel CIC. Take, for example, Vaishali. She runs an off-the-beaten-track tour of northwest London infused with Indian culture. Vaishali takes the visitors, Londoners, domestic and international, to discovery that Indian culture, rituals, and activities in the community. They learn about fashion and food and religion and festivals, and of course, also about stories, past and present, from Vaishali's family and her heritage. What initially may feel slightly uncomfortable and certainly unfamiliar soon becomes something to enjoy and celebrate. And when people have visited, they often go back and they bring their families, their friends, their children, because they feel welcome. They shop, they talk to the locals, they eat, they stop. Another example is Stephanie's tour of Shepherd's Bush in West London. Stephanie, like Vaishali, is a woman tour guide. Now, tour guiding historically, it's a male-dominated profession. But women are on the increase. And in fact, it is said that in the next 10 years, they will grow by 10%. Stephanie is also an Ethiopian refugee. And through the act of tour guiding, she has been empowered to rediscover her tradition, her history, her past. And now she is connecting to both identities, the British and the Ethiopian one. And she enjoys both stories in a wholly non-divisive way. She loves both stories, and in both stories, she belongs. So, in the hands of women like Vaishali and Stephanie, tour guiding can have a transformational impact because it connects people from all walks of life. But why do this story matter so much? You see, these stories tell us that diversity doesn't bring division. And in fact, as the women like Stephanie weave together the tapestry of their dual identity, they are actually writing the blueprint for more connected, cohesive societies. When we shut local voices from the narratives, we miss out on that richness that makes the world worth living and exploring. Inclusion is not just about quotas or ticking boxes. It's really about valuing and appreciating what each community brings to the party. So, as more people enter the tour guiding and more diverse talent enter the tour guiding profession, we can access more stories. And you know what? We can dismantle more walls. So, tour guiding fosters a powerful and dynamic exchange of knowledge, mutual respect, and empathy. We have seen through the impact of the tours run by the likes of Vaishali and Stefanit how people come together recognizing their shared humanity. So as you go about your business, please look out for the stories that exist in your community and in your backyard, and they are waiting to be told with dignity and respect. Be an ally to all the diverse communities surrounding you. And finally, reflect on the power of tour guiding as a dynamic exchange of knowledge, mutual respect, and understanding that enables us to truly build a peaceful world. Thank you.